Good morning. Welcome back. Today is Friday. Had a couple of days off, I guess, not filming this week as I was down at my seed company's annual kickoff meeting, kind of getting ready for the 2025 sales year already, which is crazy. But yeah, it's that time of year. So spent a couple of days doing that, learned a few things, got some decisions to make about direction a little bit as far as the company that I work with has a couple of different sales models and stuff, and well, we might make some changes. But anyway, we're back around the farm here today, or we're this morning in the seed warehouse here. It's raining outside. It's raining. That's a good thing. We've had a little over a half inch here this morning already. Awesome. So yeah, we're gonna find some stuff to do inside. Yesterday afternoon when I got back, Brock and I hung some more steel. So we got another bay done. Getting there on that side. We got one more to do to finish the bottom row. But we got some insulation to put up there. I think that's what I'm going to work on this morning. We'll try and, they're short pieces. I should be able to do it myself. So we're going to try that. It's not too bad. They're only like 12 foot long, so they're not that big and heavy. It's just going to take a little time. It's not going to be a real exciting day today, guys. So I got a little bit of that stuff done down there. I needed to do a little bit more. I thought I'd better go take care of some business. I needed to order food for my field day that's coming up. So I got that done, stopped in, saw a couple of seed customers while we were at it, and then back down here at the farm. Brock yesterday did a little cleaning for us. Look, this whole corner of the shop was cleaned out. We moved a bunch of stuff in the back, including the old farm wall that's, what are we, 2.5 years into restoration, and we're that far on it. And then we moved the press and some of the other stuff back here, but we need our shop cleaned out because there's an event being held here. So we'll talk more about it later some other time, but that's the little things that we're working on. Dad was doing some cleaning in here this morning with the shop vac and sweeping the floors, and it's just not a lot going on today. The sun came out here though. It's gonna get a little warm and muggy now after the rain this morning. We ended up with about a half inch of rain, a little over, not quite 6/10 here. But when I talked to some seed customers 2.5 miles south of here, they just had a 1/10 or 2. So apparently spotty again. We might have to go drive around and look a little bit. I thought maybe later this afternoon we'd take the gator, go scout some fields, look around. I made a little progress here so far. Those last two, and then the end one there, I'm gonna have to use the boom lift or move my sign rack. Easier to use the boom lift, but I can't get in there with the scissor lift, so yeah. 2 more, and then that we got to put up that 2x4. We got to finish that across so that we can attach our J channel to it, J trim, whatever you want to call it. And then next time Brock's here, we'll get that steel hung up. This one's a little bit easier than all the other bays because, well, we've only got one set of those braces to work against. This side here will just be a full sheet, 4 full sheets, and then one that we'll have to cut. So that one won't be quite so bad. We did get past those X braces on this last one, so that's helpful too. And then we'll probably wait until December before we do any more of the ceiling. Maybe we can throw some insulation up. I don't know. We're making progress. It's just slow. If I wasn't so cheap, I would hire somebody, but I'm too cheap for that. And I can do it. I just don't want to do it. Yeah, it's fine. We'll get there. All right, it's dried up enough that we weren't going to get soaked walking through the fields. Let's do a little crop scouting this afternoon. This is a field of 103-day corn, 03B19, which is a new one for me this year. I was in the plot last year, but I think that was about it. And I'm curious to see how it's going to do. The ears are really full on this thing. It looks pretty good here. We're going to find some tar spot today. No, we're not, but we're going to try. If I've got it, we're going to find it. I don't think I have it, which I can't understand. Still can't explain that, but let's go see what we got. Well, we aren't going to find tar spot in this field because it's not here. What's that bug? Is that corn? No, it's not. Red. Ladybug. Oh, you can't even see it there. Not a ladybug. I don't know what that is. It's not what I would think of as a ladybug, but it looks like one kind of. Anyway, there's no tar spot. There's some speckling on some of these leaves. Gosh, why won't you focus? But it's not tar spot. There's no northern out here. There's a dark spot on a leaf. I don't think it's tar spot though. Nope, rubbed off. If it rubs off, it's not tar spot. This corn looks good. Not a super tall hybrid. Here. Pulled an ear. I haven't counted it yet, but look, it's starting to dent. That's good. Means we're progressing through the maturity here. Starting to dry down towards harvest. All right, different field. We have a flag. Flags mean something. This particular flag is the split between my high management standard practice trial. High management, standard practice, okay? We are also in the middle of a variety here, so it's the same variety on both sides here, but if we walk over 12 rows, we switch into a different variety. And yeah, they're both new. So this is a new 103, different than the one that was in the last field. And the other one is 105. And I'm pretty darn excited really about both of them, especially the 103 day. So we're going to walk this way and we are going to see, actually we should look at both sides here and see if we notice any real differences at this point. But I want to look at this hybrid. We've got some coon damage out here. Fair bit. Now this is early corn. It was some of the first pollinating stuff, so you kind of expect that, but I don't like to see it. It's not so bad once you get down there. That looks better. There's quite a bit behind me here. You can see we've got a little bit of firing on the bottom. Not a lot. It's not bad. Just a little yellow on some of these leaves, but we're end August at this point. Like you would kind of expect to see it by now if we were running out or short nitrogen. Look what I found. There it is. There's the tar spot we've been looking for. All right, so we're still in that same field with the high management, low management, or standard practice high management trial. And we have moved into the standard practice. No fungicides have been applied here. We are 12 rows into it, so we are sitting on the split row. You can see the height difference in the corn. 105 to the left, 103 to the right. The 103's got better color. It's darker green. I can see it from here. But that's showing some tar spot. It's not terrible yet, but it won't take real long. We're going to fly the drone on this field in about 2 weeks. And I bet you will see a huge difference between the high management over there and the standard over here, because this is going to spread. You can see those little specks there. If I can focus. There we go. Nope. There we go. And they go through the leaf to the other side. 100%. That is tar spot. Now the 105 day, yeah, it's here too. A little less severe than the 103. But it's here. Now, I did not see any of that where we sprayed fungicide. So our Miravis worked. Our timing was good. But it's here. Okay. I don't want to see tar spot. It doesn't make me happy. It does make me feel a little better about my decision to spend a whole bunch of money on tar spot, right? Because I spent a lot of money on fungicide to control tar spot. And when I couldn't find any, even in my untreated stuff, it made me think, well, crap, why did I spend all that money? But now that we have it here, I feel better about spending it. Look at how wide that leaf is. Big, broad leaf. That looks really good. All right, let me pull a couple of ears from here because I want to compare. Okay, let's compare some ears. All right, so we have 2 ears from each hybrid here, one from the high management, one from the standard side. These two are the 105 day. This is the standard side. No, this is the high management side. This is the standard side. And while they may not look a ton different size-wise, the kernels is totally different. The number of rows around. Look how, well, yeah, I bet we got at least 4 more rows around on this ear than we do on this ear. That's impressive. Let me count. Yep, we do indeed. So this ear is only a 16 around. Well, it looks really good. This one here, however, only has 12. So the high management gained us 2 rows around. Not a ton in length, but I bet we will see a kernel size difference as well. So that is good. On the other one, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see as much. This is the high management. This is the standard. We've got a little more length. We lost a little less tip back here from the dry weather. Although this side here, we've got some of that, but just filled out just a touch better. You'll notice that these ears are much more developed, a little darker yellow color than these paler ones. That's 2 days of maturity difference. Yeah, this is full dent. This one is starting to dent. This one is really not yet. So probably going to be wetter this fall. May yield better. Who knows? We'll see. On this 103 day, I've been told the kernel depth on it is really good, so I broke them in half so we could see that. The high management gained us 2 rows this time, not 4, but 16 versus 14. Something interesting that I've never seen before, and I'm going to have to make a phone call, but we've got a little black speck on a lot of these kernels. I don't know what that is. I mean, it's in the kernel. It's not on the kernel. Both ears. That's strange. Don't see it at all on the 105 day, so something in its genetics. Interesting. Wade, what is it? Okay, well, let's jump across the road here and check out some beans. These are 2544s. These are a 2.5 soybean. And they should be starting to get some depth to the pods. We should be about done flowering and starting to fill out because, well, let's see, what's today? 24th? No, it's not that. Okay, over a month yet, but we're slightly over a month away from when I want to be harvesting these, so they need to be finishing up. Yeah, they look pretty good. Got lots of pods. There's a 4-bean pod right there without looking too hard. There's another one right there. Nice. These ones down farther. Yeah. Got a little thickness to them. We got a little ways to go yet, but we're getting there. Let's find a plant to pull. Not as heavy a branched as we've seen on some other ones, but we do have several main branches or big branches that are setting pods, so that is good. They look pretty decent. That node's got 2 4-beaners on it. So does the one above it, or at least one. And the one above that, and the one above that. That's impressive. Those look good. I went ahead and stripped all the leaves off so we could get a better look at the branching and the pods on this plant. And we've got some. So you can see that node right there is the one with 2 4-bean pods on it. So that's good. There's a 4-bean pod on the node above that one. There's one up there. There's another one up there. Every node, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes in a row that have at least 1, if not 2, 4-bean pods on it up at the top of the plant. We got one down there at the bottom. That one's starting to get thick. Yeah. The other thing that I notice here, we have no active flowers. I'm sorry my phone won't focus today, guys. I know. Whatever. If I was sitting on something with some contrasting color, I don't have anything. The road here, it would be better, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, we don't have any active flowers that are actual white flowers, but you can look at almost all these nodes from clear down here at the bottom, the branches, middle of the plant, top of the plant. We have flowers that just finished blooming recently, like within the last week. And some of them are going to still fill out and make pods yet. So like this cluster here in this middle of this plant, like we've already got 3 full-size pods or fully length pods. We got 1, 2, 3 more that have started to form pods and 2 more flowers there that could potentially. So that's a lot. We could get a lot of beans off of this if all that stuff fills out, and that all depends on how much rain we get. And a 1/2 inch today helps. It won't be enough to finish them, but it certainly does help. Let's keep going. We have better beans than these, but that's not bad. It certainly depends on your population out there a little bit. I don't know exactly what it was in this spot, but I'd guess we dropped it around 160,000. So they're not They're not super thin. We probably planted too many and had bigger plants if we would have planted less. I have that trial. It's in my plot. Back to corn. Just down the road from where we were. This is a 110 day that was brand new for this past year, or this year, I guess you would say. I had it in plots last year. This is the first time we really had it in the field. It's tall. It's very, very full leaf. This is very thick walking through, thicker than some of the other stuff. And a pretty high ear placement. Like, I'm 6'4". This year it's not here, but it's not low like some of the other stuff. So yeah, this looks good. Now we did spray here. I don't see any tar spot, but it got sprayed, so we shouldn't. Let's look at the ears. Okay, a couple things we noticed. Number one, first and foremost, this is way behind that 103 day. Go figure, right? 110 days, not as far along. It's not as mature. We're in probably dough stage right now. Have not started to dent. It needs a week to catch up, or a week and a half to catch up to that 103 day that we just looked at. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Second, this isn't great. We have a fair bit of tip back on all three of these ears, particularly this one. And if you look at this, you can see what I was talking about. You can see what I was talking about a week or two ago, where some of this never pollinated. Some of them are aborted kernels from the dry weather that we had 2 weeks ago. From here to here, those kernels pollinated. They started to develop. The corn plant said, hey, we don't have enough moisture. We don't have enough water to fill you out. We're killing you off. We're going to protect the ones that we can. Now, number three, those are pretty dang good ears still. Like, would it be awesome to have that extra inch and a half of corn there? Yeah, it would be awesome. But this is still really good. This ear looks fantastic. Those are all really long. They're not super girthy, but they're really long. I think it's gonna make corn. I do in this field with this new 110 day have my 111 day solid trusted product that's been one of the best corns that I've planted over the last couple of years. So we'll have a great side-by-side comparison there to really put it to its test. Now we're finding the problems. Now, I had seen a small spot when I was driving by a field last week one day. I didn't have time to check, or maybe it was earlier this week before my meetings or something. And I'm like, uh-oh, I know what that looks like. Let's go. We have to go check it out. And while I'm here checking it out, and yeah. We have some random dead plants. Do you know what random dead plants in your soybeans probably means for me this time of year? Right there. White mold! There it is, white mold. We fought a ton of white mold last year. I hadn't seen it show up yet this year, but it was about this time or even a little later last year when we got it. So I'm gonna have to track that one. These beans are thick. They're very, very thick. Like, you can see the trail I made just walking in here. It's probably gonna get a little worse, but I don't think it's gonna be near the level that we had last year. So we'll keep an eye on stuff and we'll see. These beans, they look really good if they can stay alive. On that white mold front, because this was a big issue for us last year, and I'm going to get lots of questions about what are you going to do about it. Well, there's nothing you're going to do about it now. And there was nothing I could do about it last year. There were things I could have done about it in the meantime here to try and prevent it. You can't cure it, you can prevent it. I did a few things. I did not go extreme and do a lot of things. We did, first and foremost, I looked very hard at the variety white mold ratings this year. Big part of the reason why we planted a bunch of Extend Flex varieties instead of all Enlist like last year, because in my seed company's lineup in general right now, the Extend Flex have a little bit better white mold tolerance than the Enlist. I'm not saying they're better or worse, I'm just saying for that particular issue, the Extend Flex beans are better. And it has nothing to do with the trait platform, it has everything to do with the genetics that they're in. Okay, so we did that. Number two, we did much more variable rate population on beans. I tried to back off on the population in the productive areas that are more likely susceptible to white mold. Now, I didn't do enough. That's a change that we're going to have to start making more and more and get real aggressive in backing off populations, which will probably bite me in the butt at some point with the replant situation. But hey, it is what it is. So before I get into using very expensive fungicides, making multiple trips, applications, and that kind of stuff, we're going to do some cultural things first. Things like picking the right varieties, things like reducing our populations. I would have liked to do some 30-inch rows. That didn't happen this year. We'll do some next year. I'm also using the Heads Up, the seed treatment on all of my beans, or most all of my beans. Does that actually prevent white mold? Yeah, I don't know if it prevents white mold. I think it reduced the severity and it helped last year. But it's not a cure-all either. So you got to combine a bunch of those things together to try and get acceptable results. Now, I also know that this seems to be an every other year problem for me, and it was a last year problem, so I didn't anticipate a ton of problem with white mold this year. But next year, when those same fields that were big problems last year are back into beans, yeah, then's when we have to start really trying to figure something out and looking into it a little bit more. So, and then the other option would be to, not plant beans. So that doesn't fit. That's kind of not a fit for us. But there is a field or two, or one big one, maybe that gets irrigated, that's probably going to end up with 2 years of corn. And that's, yeah, the white mold's a factor there, but that's more of a, I can raise corn here, so we're going to raise corn here. Now, it is a Friday afternoon. We're scouting crops, so I thought, well, let's go check out the sweet corn crop, right? It's thick. It's thick. But I think my next planting is ready here, planting number 3, and we're gonna probably freeze some corn tomorrow. But I also have a neighbor that does a lot of farmers markets and has a farm stand at their store and stuff, and they texted me and said, hey, we're a little short corn, you got any? Yeah, I got some, but I don't want to give it all to them because we're gonna freeze it. So we're gonna go through here and pick a bunch of corn, and we're gonna see how much there is from here to down there. Not all the way, halfway to where the final planting is down there. And we'll see if we can get 20 dozen, I can sell them 10 or 12 of it. This is planting number 2. It's picked through. There might be a few years in there yet, but it's a little more mature. We'll see. Happy Friday. Not so sure my fence is working. Got a little coon damage. Anyway. 1, 2. Yep, it's going to take a little while. It's kind of muddy out here. 54. We got 4.5 dozen out of 1 row. Yeah, I got some corn out here. How many rows do I have? 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 3 is 30. 30 dozen. There's 30 dozen ears out here, guys. Oh, crap. Yeah, we can get rid of some. That's a lot of corn. Well, most of it just disappeared. That's what's left for us for tomorrow, and I can pick through some of the previous planting and get a little bit more out of there probably. There's about 14 dozen there, and I just sold 20 dozen. That's a lot of corn. It's a lot. It's a lot. So that'll be fun. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'm freezing corn tomorrow. I think Sister Anna's coming home tonight, so that'll be good to see her again. But yeah, our crops look okay. I really think we're in pretty good shape overall. Things are progressing, and we got some rain today, so that's good, although it sounds very localized because the people I just sold that to live about 5 or 6 miles north and west of here, and they had 2 tenths, and the guys 2 or 3 miles south had a tenth or 2. So once again, we got lucky and it hit us in not a wide range of, or not a wide area. So more chances of rain tomorrow and Sunday. So hopefully we catch another ½ inch out of it or something, or get some down to Berkey. That would be great. But yeah, things are in good shape. Next week, we're going to finish the ceiling in here on that one spot. We're going to keep doing a bunch of cleaning. That's what most of the week is going to be. We'll see what other projects we can find to do. But the field day is coming up. Have a good weekend. We'll see you Monday.